Part 2. I had to delete this at first because I said some violent stuff to a child who wouldn't go to bed. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you guys a story. Two stories. They have racist undertones or overtones or overtures or whatever the hell you want to call the word that I'm looking for. But they're a peaceful story. It's a great story. Two of them. So the first story takes place in Canada. Because Canada is supposed to be what America was meant to be, a melting pot of people of different ethnicities getting along and living great. As I said in the other video, there was an Asian food court and everybody could wear their traditional Asian garb. There was Indian food court, and this mall is 5 stories underground in Toronto. And I was at the part where I was at the CNN Tower. I left some stuff off. It's on the other thing. I deleted it, so it's done. I got so angry I had to delete it because I started saying some filth, blind filth, trying to keep this as close to PG as possible. So, as I was saying, so there's a bunch of people in the CNN Tower, and they're jumping on the glass floor that can supposedly support a baby rhinoceros or a baby elephant. It was a baby animal from Africa that had 4 legs. So they're all jumping. We got one guy in a wheelchair, and we got like maybe 14 or 15 Japanese people jumping on this glass. Me being the stupid American and a smartass, the first thing I asked them, and of course none of the Japanese people spoke English, and the white guy in the wheelchair, he did speak English. He was from Canada. And they're all jumping on this glass, and I said, "Are you guys like insane? Have they literally tested this glass to support a baby rhinoceros or whatever the hell that damn thing is?" It's like, we don't know. And yet you want to jump on this window where when you look through the window, all the cars look like they're this big. I said, now I know that my luck is bad, that when y'all get off, I might step on it and go slam through the damn thing. So I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you this. I hope every last one of y'all got y'all insurance paid up. And if y'all are under 20 years old, then y'all should realize just how quickly your life can be taken from you if this glass falls. Because no one here is going to be fast enough, and there's no ropes, and there's no safety net that's going to catch all that shit, and you're going down. Now here's the funny part. They all looked at me like I was an idiot, and then commenced to jumping on that motherfucking glass. I'm sorry, I was cussing. They jumped on that glass like it wasn't nothing. They did that shit for like 15, 20 minutes. Even the guy in the wheelchair was jumping up and down on that glass. I didn't even know guys in wheelchairs could jump wheelchairs until that day. But they jumped and jumped and jumped and jumped, and I'm just watching. My surrogate daddy, Rick, is just laughing at me. He's like, hey, every time somebody comes here, they do that. It's like a Canadian thing and a tourist thing. And they all got off and they went their way. And yes, I'm an idiot because I know how bad my luck is, but I'm going to push my luck. So I'm going to toe touch it. Now, reluctantly, nothing happened. I'm here. I wouldn't make the video if something did happen because, a 1,000-foot drop doesn't leave much to the imagination. So, after I toe tap it a couple of times, I walk across it a couple of times. And I'm like, yeah, Jay, you should probably stop now. And so I stop. Then I go back, I walk around CNN Tower. You have to pay like $13 or $40 or something. It's a pretty pricey place to go up to the top of the thing and eat. I won't try to do all that because I didn't have that much money. So anyway, they're bouncing up and down on the damn thing. And I come back, and it's like twice as many people and that guy in the wheelchair doing it again. And I'm thinking to myself, anything goes in Canada, including massive suicides. So, no, I don't go join in. Nope, hell no. I already pressed my luck once. Now, nothing happened to them. And after about 2 hours of being up there and touring the place or whatever, we're going back down, and then we go back to our hotel. By way of strip club. And then that's when I found out you can actually touch strippers on that trip to Canada. Anyway, moving on. So, there's so much non-racist shit that I've seen every time I've gone to Toronto. I have never had a racist incident. I have never been a half-breed. I have been greeted with the utmost manners. Whether that person was a white person, or an Asian person, or a black person, I have been greeted with nothing but respect and manners in Canada. I There's a Asian security guard. She's always there when we had the wheelchair basketball team, the Spitfire, something or another, at the Atobi Choke gym. Yeah, the Atobi Choke. That's the place to be. I'm telling you, it's like the baddest gym ever. It's even got an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Shit's awesome. If I could ever buy a property in Canada, I would like to buy property right next to the Atobi Choke gym. I'm sure that's not going to happen because I'm a poor American, but hey, if I could get lucky, oh, believe me, I would. Anyway, so I see her every year at the tournament, and we talk all the time. And when she first met me, she was hesitant. She's like, look, um, how can I ask you this without getting you upset or offending you? And I was like, well, fire away. I was like, what can you possibly ask me that's going to piss me off or offend me that I haven't already heard? He's like, well, are you mixed? I was like, yes, ma'am, I am. He's like, well, what are you mixed with? I said, well, ma'am, I'm Cherokee Indian. He's like, really? I thought you were Hawaiian or Mexican. I said, yeah, I get that a lot. I said, but I'm Cherokee, black and white. I said, simple as that. I'm not going to stretch the truth. I'm not going to lie around and say, yeah, I'm Hawaiian. No, fuck that, because lies come back to bite you in the ass. So there's no point in that. So, we got to talk. She's like, you really look Asian. And I was like, I get that a lot. But technically, I'm not Asian. Now, this is like one of my first trips, so it was before I learned that Native Americans actually are Asian. I was like, well, that might be the Native American. Did you see? I was like, because most people don't know that Native Americans are Asian, especially me. So I was like, okay, well, I'm part Cherokee, so that's probably what you see. It's like, okay. And so the next few times she seen me, she's like, how you doing? And she's like, I still think you're part Asian. I was like, hey, you know what? I've had this battle with people forever. So whatever you want me to be, there you are. He's like, just that simple? I said, look, in America, it's so much worse. I said, I have been under the microscope of every racist that I have ever bumped into with them not knowing what the fuck I am. And some of them aren't racist intentionally. Some of them are just accidentally racist, just curious. That shit does happen. Now, my second story. This takes place in Florida in that little Asian thing called Taste of China. Fawn was like 7 years old. I don't know if she's still flexible, but I'm pretty sure she's in her 20s now. Because I was in my 20s then, and she was like 7. So that was well over 20-something years ago. She's probably grown with kids now. Probably not as flexible as she was back then. Anyway, Fawn, how you doing? All I know is her name was Fawn. She's a little cute kid. I got her poster somewhere in here. Anyway, so, as I said, I probably told you this before. I'll tell you again. This white fellow who was working there, he was talking to me and was talking to Rick, my second father, and he was like, yo, I want to talk to you about these people. And every time he would look at the Asian people, he would look at me. And he would say, can I talk to you about it, about him? And I was like, dude, whatever you have to say, knock yourself out. I'm not Chinese. It's like, really? I was like, yeah, I'm not Chinese. He was like, oh, okay then. And he went on about the story. Now let me express myself on this subject of race. Alright? Again, in the other video, I simply said it. It's the one thing that we can't change. We can try. I can get my eyes wider. I like my eyes. I can get my nose smaller, so it would look more like a white person's nose. I can get my skin bleached. But this red-blooded Cherokee blood in me, and this black blood and this white blood in me, you can't change that. You can't break down my cellular DNA. Don't worry, there was times where I thought that if I can make a machine where I could pull the black and white out of me, because blacks and whites generally seem to be the ones that have the most racist tension, those would be the two ethnicities that I would pull out. However, I would probably die because there probably wouldn't be a way to sustain me without having every piece of my DNA and molecules together. This is not a Piccolo situation. And for those who don't know who Piccolo, just go watch Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z, and then you'll figure it out what I mean. Because when Piccolo merges with Nail, and then he has to merge with King Kai to be stronger than Frieza or Boo or whoever the hell it is. But anyway, moving back to the story. There are a lot of things that you people who are not multicultural or who can't pass for one or the other don't understand. So I'm going to tell you another story in a different video about that. And I'm going to start with this story right here. My city of Charlottesville recently had a racial endeavor. We like to call it a racist slaughtering and wounding of people with some idiot who just threw away his life. Alright? It's all over CNN, it's all over MSNBC, it's all over Fox. In fact, it's all probably on every news station in the United States right now. It's probably all over the world by now. This undeniable spark of racism that we keep trying to push away or shelter the world from or do things that you know that tries to stand us above the rest. But here's the problem. You know how they say a drug addict's hardest test is to admit that they're a drug addict. Alright? If you haven't heard that, welcome to the 20th century. Because the hardest part of recognizing the problem is first admitting that you have one. Alright? And that's one of the things that we as people tend to forget. That we tend to forget that pride comes before a fall, and no one wants to admit that they're a racist or they have racial tendencies or problems with other people's race or prejudice stuff. Now, when I joined the Army, no one questioned what I was. They just knew I was a 37-year-old rookie who needed a job, who suffered from a broken heart, and needed purpose. And they gave me that. And whenever I put those dog tags on, I remember everyone at Fort Benning, Georgia. Good, bad, all of it. Haven't forgotten it. Grateful that I got to go. Not grateful that I came home the wrong way. That does not mean I'm ungrateful that I came home alive. I'm grateful because I never wanted to leave. And with this hip replacement and not being able to go back, plus I'm well past the age of cancellation, things tend to get in the way. Now, when it comes down to race in the military, it's only one color, green. The rest of the world should see that the same way. Unfortunately, we have blinders on. And we all live in this little racial world in which we choose to not acknowledge other people's feelings or the fact that we all breathe air and that we all need water to survive. Your ethnicity ain't gonna make a damn difference when it comes down to your survival. You need air and you need water. You don't really need much else. Your body can go 3 or 4 days without food. But in the event that you don't have that, Army's got you covered. Now, let's get down to business. The ultimate question, the only question, is why. Why does it make a difference what color I am if I'm dating your daughter? As long as I love her and treat her well, my color, my ethnicity, my background history shouldn't make a difference. But apparently, it kind of does. But the funny thing is, this shit only happens in America. It doesn't happen to anybody else in foreign countries. Other people are very well acceptable. Lots of guys are marrying up the shit out of some Japanese women as of last year. The African and Japanese community and their merger has been like off the fucking chain. And I know this because of a lady I met at Comic-Con who's from Japan and her husband's African. And they did a whole lot for me. And thank you, by the way. I love the Hataki thingies. Probably didn't say it right. But anyway, they're real great. She's a composer and her husband's a rapper. So and they have a daughter. You know, I don't remember their names, but shout out. I did do a video about it when I met her at Comic Con, when we had the big one at John Paul Jones, MegaCon, excuse me. But they didn't come back this year. That went so, well, last year they went. But when they come back, if they come back for the next one, because I'll be there, unless I die, I'll be there. So these things are slightly important. But those are other places where you can go where your race doesn't matter. But for some reason in America, mostly in America, other places, man, the only thing that people hate about America is the fact that we have freedom to say what we want, to wear what we want, to get the jobs that we want. And in other countries, you can't achieve the dreams that foreigners can achieve here in America, which is kind of what sparked ISIS in them in the first place. Lack of freedom. But we are the only country in the world who still has not put a coffin or a nail to the coffin in racism. Why? You know why? No one's trying to. And then all of a sudden these groups pop up. I'll finish this in the third video.